Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today I've got a quick first impressions on a Kansept knife. Before I get too much into the knife, I will just show you the knife there. But before I get too much into it, I just want to give you a little bit of background. I've actually been interested in checking out something from Kansept for a while, and you guys asked me if I would, and so I reached out to Kansept and they sent some stuff for review. That got seized at the border. One of the joys of being a knife guy in Canada is the stupid border restrictions, and what's frustrating about it is their standard for what's allowable for import is different than the Criminal Code of Canada. So it's not like they're enforcing the criminal code. They're just doing their own ridiculous thing. And it's a little frustrating. So that's rant number one in this video, but I'm not quite done yet. Anyway, there are two Kansept knives sitting at the border that I need to deal with, and I don't have any paperwork in order to start that process anyway. So kind of a big fail on the behalf of CBSA, that's Canadian Border Services, and the consistent fail that they just keep doing. And the laws are disgusting and absolutely terrible. Getting back to the knife itself, I was interested in this design. It's a Dirk Pinkerton design. It's kind of a smaller knife, but I still wanted to check it out. So I'll show you this in more detail in a second. Let me just put the knife aside for 1 minute and show you the packaging, because it's actually pretty cool. Kind of a fun package to open, and that experience is, not totally lost on me. So it's kind of one of these angled boxes. You slide this guy off and you've got a little envelope in here. In the envelope, you'll find your microfiber cloth and some paperwork. And then inside of that, you'll find the pouch. And you've already seen the knife, so you know it's not in here. But the pouch itself is even a little bit different. So kind of an interesting approach. And I like to see that Kansept has tried to do something a little bit different there. Now, the next thing I've got to say is when it comes to features, let's do a quick rundown. Starting off with this Persian style or trailing point style blade, satin finish, which is not standard. You have to get the more expensive one with the Damascus to get the satin finish. And I want to show you something a little bit weird right here. Notice they've labeled it S20V. S20V. I think what they're trying to say there is CPM 20 CV. I don't know how, anyway, maybe it's just S35VN that's been mislabeled, but they, even in descriptions, if you go to like Blade HQ or different knife stores, they all say it's S20V steel, which is just not a thing. Or at least not a common steel that you're going to really find in folding knives. I can only suspect that they mean 20 CV. So I don't know. I did some research and I haven't confirmed or denied that yet, but I will try and follow up. Okay, so that's the blade. I do like this blade quite a bit. And notice there's another little detail here, which is instead of doing a crown spine, they've done sort of these chamfered edges, which is kind of cool as well. It is, of course, a knife that is on bearings. It's a bolster lock, and it's a front flipper. Now, can I just say, guys, I think I've had about enough front flippers. They're fine. They're not the most, you sort of got to do this weird grip to get them open, and they all wear on your thumb. If you get a detent that's proper in order to, deploy the knife effectively, it also wears your thumb out a little bit. Not my favorite design. I don't hate it. And here's my thing. If it fits the design, right? If it's appropriate for what you're doing, then okay, go ahead and use a front flipper. But right now it seems like everybody's just being like, well, we got to have a front flipper. We got to have a front flipper. It's like the next big thing. And it doesn't really need to be the next big thing. All right. It's fine, but it's not great. So please, unless the design of your knife really needs to have a front flipper to work well, just forget it, right? Put thumb studs on there, put a regular flipper tab on there, and leave it at that. So that's my rant about front flippers. I've kind of had enough of front flippers. I'm not saying I'm never going to buy another one or anything like that, but it's like, okay, you've made your point. You found a new way to flip a knife open. Whatever. Titanium frame lock, of course. This one is black coated, and so this configuration kind of all goes together. At least from what I can find, the only one you're going to get with satin has the Damascus and the black. Okay, I couldn't at least find variations on this that have satin without the black and Damascus. And I'll give you a close look at the Timascus there just so you can check it out. They've done a decent job. It's a nice looking Timascus, and it does give it a pop of color, although you will be paying for that. This is a little more expensive. I think they're like 260 bucks. So a little bit steeper than what you're going to be paying for the standard version at 199. Size and weight on this guy. 7 and 9/16. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about price, this did come from Justin over at White Mountain Knives, so you could save yourself 10%, which is not insubstantial, which is not unsubstantial on a $265 purchase. So that might save you a little bit if you want to go up to the more expensive version. Maybe you can swing it with that 10% off. Size and weight on this, 7 and 9/16 overall. So not a huge knife, 7 and 9/16. I don't know why I tried to say 9 there initially. 3 and 5/16 on the blade, 4 and a quarter on the handle. Okay, that's the closed length just of the handle. The flipper tab does stick up another 1/8 of an inch, so that would put it up to 4 and 3/8. Finally, the grip area on this, which is pretty nice. For a smaller knife, this feels really, really good in my hand, and that's because it has 3 and 3/4 inches of grip area, which well done, Dirk Pinkerton, with that design and concept on fitting, getting me a decent amount of grip area on a smaller knife. Only weighs in at 3.4 ounces. So there you go, guys. What do I think of this knife overall? I think it's a really cool looking knife. This is not obviously the knife you buy to be the most practical EDC knife imaginable. This is a knife you buy because you like the design, because you like the materials, because it's really, really cool and still quite functional as a folding cutting tool, by the way. So cool design, very nice materials. Everything seems okay. Obviously, this is a first impression. I haven't had time to use it. I haven't had time to do a lot of cutting with it. So I'll know better in a couple of months when I have time to do some testing on this, and I'll come back with a full review at that time. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.